you discovered at the meta level that Kira gave some super secret information to Uriel, who said there was no rush, but also there's definitely a rush with getting him something left unspecified. Macklin had spent most of the day with Ava and returned to the manor about 2:40, and we had a conversation with them about whether we knew them from before or approximately the time of Chromafall. And we did a little bit, and he gave us a pigskin. He declined to accept a Captain Tooth tattoo. The next thing that I have was a note about Cure's shield being probably acceptable to go to Marquette, but not acceptable to go to Vex and Trim. I feel like things happen in the middle, but I'm going to keep talking, and then y'all can fill in those gaps when I run out of talking. We did discover that the Raven Queen is an approved god in Vex and Trim, so that part's probably fine. Wow, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. There was a lot of talk about how many people Jocelyn could teleport and whether or not that was a problem given the current configuration of the party. We went to Marquette. We ended up in a Temple of Hades. We met Seta. We met giant lizards. We rode giant lizards. We went to the Oasis and met a Tabaxi, whose name I totally missed, but she is closely acquainted with Sorrow, who is the alternate timeline ghost. That's all that I have. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what I was doing, but not taking notes apparently.
There was a lot of banter. I'm pretty sure we gave Jaws in hell last game.
Yes, I also have a note about that we could tell that he was not lying about not being able to see.
Oh yeah,
so, that was good to know.
And the wings were real too.
Yeah, it was yeah. We might owe Jaws
Not a high
several
priest,
apologies. We the party, we not necessarily, probably also us specifically we, but also the party.
Yeah, you all owe me apologies.
Why?
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone else's note has the other reasons why.
I mean, as far as my recollection of last game, it was Cure and Jocelyn giving each other shit as they usually do, and then traveling to a place, talking to a friend, and traveling to where they want to go. That's pretty much sums it up for Jocelyn.
It's very efficient and not incorrect.
Did you mention the part with the riding lizards?
I mentioned that they existed, but nothing else.
Okay, yeah, we had a ride on the riding lizards. And it shaved off a crap load of time as we got to the Oasis. We saw was it the Vengeance? The Revenge? Airship.
The Revengeance.
It's not the Revengeance. Get out of here, Kojima.
It seems entirely plausible to me that was the name.
The Revenge. Yeah, we met with Dusk first, then Sorrow, and there were dinner plans, I believe, being made.
Oh, right. There was somebody was talking about pancakes and decided they were going to be pancakes, but it's not clear if they're actually going to be pancakes.
It's probably going to be pancakes.
It seemed like some of y'all had either a traumatic or highly positive experience with pancakes. We could not tell which.
Yes. That is correct.
But one of the two.
One thing can be two things. One thing can be two things.
One thing can be two
Why not
things.
both?
I'm not sure about this positive trauma concept.
Some people had spicy pancakes and were not happy about it.
Oh no! It was either it seemed very positive or it seemed very traumatic. Like the feelings were too strong for the pancakes to have been mediocre, but it was not clear which direction they were strong. At least to us.
Dusk has a very loose interpretation of what, very loose interpretation of why?
Pancake.
Yeah, pancake, acceptable pancake ingredients, and toppings.
That seems fine.
I don't think so.
Meanwhile, Cure, who's more lawful pancake, did not appreciate it.
Waffle pancake.
Lawful pancake.
I want to see the not
A
baked
waffle-
goods because some of these things are on, but the breakfast
I
carbohydrate.
think we're going to end up with
alignment
a
chart.
paladin of the oak.
A
I s-
waffle pancake
Yeah.
contains a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of
sugar.
baking soda,
Where's the
little bit of
sugar
sugar.
come? No sugar.
flour.
Powdered sugar.
No, that's way too sweet.
I don't know if this is John or
Buttermilk.
Jocelyn talking.
We all know Jozen likes his things bitter, just like his soul, but still.
And if
As
you
Jocelyn's
and,
ideal pancake contains coffee.
and the neutral oil of choice, butter, but not shortening. No blueberries. No vinegar.
Wait,
No
no blueberries?
strawberries. No, it's not a pancake. No chocolate chips. No bacon, no sausage. It's not a pancake unless it has those 5 ingredients, and only those 5 ingredients. It is to be
Sitting
topped with butter and syrup.
deeply
Starting
upsetting.
to think Macklin is lawful pancake.
That's
Yours
waffle
more
pancake.
neutral pancake.
And on the other side, you got waffles.
On
Which
the
is
other
chaotic
side, you
good
have
thing.
sriracha pancakes.
Oh, that's chaotic. I'm not sure if it's evil or.
Chaotic evil pancake.
Not just
Well, you
determined that
can't use good and evil,
pa-
so what would be
that-
the opposite of pancake?
waffles are chaotic, so
I
I
feel
guess
like
it would be waffles.
No,
I
I
think
feel
it's
like
like
it's.
chili and pickle waffle or something.
Oh no, I was gonna say like eggs or
Chaotic
something,
evil?
but like something that's not carbohydrates at all. But I may have left my own alignment chart.
I feel like it has to be on the same like continuum of carbohydrate
So,
breakfasts.
are y'all standing in the middle of the desert talking about pancakes?
Yes, come on, we're role playing.
Okay, just checking. Just making sure this was all in character. That's
When
fine.
are we not? God damn it. We're always in goddamn character.
We are a character.
I will not interrupt any more pancake talk. Continue as you would like.
There are some words in that comment that were true.
Yep. Yep.
Although tabaxi hair is an unorthodox ingredient to pancakes, I think it's welcome at the dinner plate.
Aren't we here with an objective of some sort? Shouldn't we be
Yes, where the hell
accomplishing
is the
something?
secret?
I mean, what objective are we here for, Cure? Please point it out.
Macklin already did. We're looking for the seeker. Think you're going deaf in your old age.
Some of us might be listening or smelling or doing something else.
That might not be good if I'm going deaf, because if I'm going deaf in my old age, then
You're going blind.
that I've already gotten there, Cure. That's for sure.
No, Jocelyn. Sound blind.
Oh boy.
Like a bat.
Now I've actually been there before, and let me tell you, that is not a pleasant experience.
We
That-
did say we were sorry.
What-
So Seta's bar.
We think
What are you sorry for, Tab?
when we made you deaf for a while.
Well, that happens. You're definitely not the first one to do it to me. And that being one of my party doing it to me. We once had this bard in our party. His name was Seamus / Ice, and he
So
thought
Seta's bar.
I think we looked around, just like scanned the area to see if we could spot the seeker anywhere last time, right? If not, we would like to do that now.
You were told that the Seeker's Zoom is staying at Zeta's bar.
Okay. It's right over there, right? That's the bar. We point towards the center of the camp where we were told the bar was.
I have no idea.
Well, we've been here before. I imagine we can find a way. Is Seta still with us?
Zeta
I'm-
left.
She left. Good. Good for her.
Did she walk
approve.
off towards her bar?
Good for
Yes,
definitely
yeah.
good for her, man. Who wants to be with this party when they're starting their little banter rants?
Is Sarah still with us?
No, Sarah went back to the ship.
everyone has left us.
Are we just did
You
Did
guys
they
are
just
We're
leave
just
us
standing
alone
in the
to
middle of the
banter in
square
the middle of the
talking
desert?
about with banter
Bro,
and
the
pancakes.
DM asked if that was what we were doing, and we just went hog wild with it.
We would like to drop into stealth and try to approach Sedaspar.
You're in the middle of a desert.
Where the hell did Tab go?
Good news, 35.
What are you
It's my
doing
best.
hiding behind a tumbleweed?
I mean, it sounded like there were other buildings. So like
Oh,
we
God.
we assumed like the part where
That
well
cactus
first
is
we're waiting for you all
mysteriously
to be
tab-shaped.
engaged in in like the banter. Like we're watching for a moment when there is a great deal of banter going on, and you all are looking at each other or listening at each other or whatever you do, and then we peace out.
None of the above.
To the best of our ability. Obviously, we don't know what you're doing at any given point. Apparently, we're also probably leaving Corin in the dust, literally and figuratively. So that's
Yeah.
probably fine.
Corin is just watching the banter, kind of just arms folded. He's definitely, when he's being serious, you definitely understand why he may have been an enforcer.
Mm-hmm. Important clarifying question, and then I'll stop talking for a second. Are the arms folded with Captain Tusktooth tattoo exposed or hidden?
Oh, he's rolled up his sleeves. So
Excellent.
Tusktooth is there, visible,
Delightful.
in all his crooked-eyed glory. It only adds to the sense of like tough guyness to him, though.
You needed a tattoo. We're not going far. We're just like ducking behind one of the little buildings that was there, and then watching to see how long it takes the party to notice that we've gone.
Okay. Takes a little bit as the pancake arguments continue.
He is now ignoring the pancake argument because no concept of pancakes, and trying to figure out if he can convince the little cloud above his head to become like slightly wider at the base, so that he's actually fully under the shade of the cloud.
Yeah, so you also realize the town is very quiet this time of day. Really, like there's not a lot of people around. There just seems to be one caravan. There's a couple of drow around hanging out in the shade of the wagons, repairing bits and pieces of the caravan itself, but you don't really see many people out.
He looks at the other drow over by the wagons. He looks at the door to the bar.
We lift the bracelet to our mouth from our hiding place and say, "So, Sedaspar?"
I think it was over this way.
Is it a check to remember which way to go, or
I mean,
Are we not standing right in front of it?
I think Seda told
Yeah.
us.
are we
roll a
literally right
history
in front of
check
it?
and don't roll a 1. Like,
19.
yeah. You know where Sedaspar is.
You're
stayed
lame.
there overnight a couple of times. Like,
Why couldn't you have rolled the 1?
I don't know, man. I'm adverse to rolling ones. Yeah, so I'll start moving in that direction, being sure to make just enough noise so that Jocelyn is aware that I'm moving.
okay.
I'm imagining Macklin like slugging his feet to make noise.
He's got to drag his feet. He's got to rattle his knives.
But you don't need to be so inconspicuous, Macklin. I'm not deaf.
Don't you mean sound blind?
Macklin, you're bringing back traumatic experiences.
Of the time you went blind or the time you went sound blind? Or the time you were a child?
Which time when he was a child?
Well, the time he
fall
died.
into step alongside.
You know, the time that I died was rather peaceful.
Did you come back? No, you came back in a body. You didn't come back other ways. That's very good. Very clever of you.
I came back, that's for sure. Yeah. That's myself, old and grumpy as usual.
Here's the door. We'll hold it open so you don't walk into it.
Thank
And
you,
we do.
Tab. I appreciate that. And Jocelyn will stroll into the bar.
Okay.
How did he walk through doors before we were here?
Well, he would normally go through them. Lots of crashing and banging and splintered wood. He's a very strong man.
We nod sagely. Not sagely, knowingly. Some appropriate.
When the hell did that happen, Macklin?
He just chuckles and slips on through.
You're in a rare mood today, Macklin.
Oh, what can I say? It's sunny and warm out. Not so gloomy and grey like it is in Whitestone most of the time. There's something about this continent that just makes me feel 15 years younger. Perhaps it was the coffee last time.
I was wondering if you'd walked through the magic mud.
Magic mud.
Points at Tab.
Oh, that magic mud.
But did that actually make Tab 15 years younger, or did that make Tab 15?
We don't really know. We don't know. There were the lost years, so we don't know if they counted. We're looking around the bar. Is the seeker here?
So, you enter the bar.
We did?
We're having
So
this
a bunch of
conversation.
assholes from Tal'Dorei enter a bar in Marquette.
Yeah, it's like we entered the bar and we've been standing at the doorway
Yeah.
having this conversation.
Yeah, we're like craning, like leaning and craning our neck and like maybe pushing people, like not pushing our colleagues out of the way, but like trying to get them to step sideways so that we can see past them because we're not very tall. That's what we
Sure.
get for holding the door.
Yeah, so the bar is dark and cool inside, as if you had just stepped in to more of a basement area. There isn't a lot of direct light here, but there are like globes of light around. So it's not dark or dingy. It's just softer lit compared to outside, and it takes you a minute to get your for your eyes to adjust. You do not see anyone immediately except for Seta, who is behind the bar.
We'll keep going to get inside.
Sorry, this is the most exciting thing he's.
I'll approach the bar and say to Seta, it's awful quiet in here.
Well, most people are asleep at the moment.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Sorry, that was not for you.
Excuse me, Tab, but I really don't like the tone you're taking with me.
What time of day is it?
It's fairly middle of the day time. Probably like
That's
four,
what
3
I
or 4?
thought. Chor will definitely frown in confusion.
Roll a nature check if you'd like.
Yes.
where people are normal and sun is not up. Us.
You're cutting out a lot.
Holy shit!
I mean, you were here before. You remember that this place has a lot of nightlife, not a lot of day life. And you think because it's a lot of drow, that perhaps, you know?
Oh right, drow in the desert. I look over to V as I think about that.
He looks at Cure like she's crazy. What? Outside in that?
What? You made it here, all right.
Points at the cloud.
Do you really think that provided any protection whatsoever?
Yes.
I arch my brow and decide not to dissuade V of that delusion.
Jocelyn
He does not
leans.
tell Cure he has also been like doing prestidigitation to cool himself off since they got there.
Jocelyn leans over to Macklin. What are they talking about?
Staying cool in the desert, I believe.
Nightlife.
That too.
Nightlife, got you.
Seems this town is mostly nocturnal.
That's fair enough. So the Seeker. Where is he? Cure's doing that, like leading the conversation, like no one is pretty much like, where is
One of the most
just standing around the desert like a bunch of assholes?
one of the most charismatic freaking characters in the game, and that's how that goes.
I don't know why, but
It
it
works.
just it feels so Gestapo to me. Like
The Seeker? Where is he?
Oh gosh. This
Just
went off the
delivery.
rails early, guys. This went off the rails early.
That's a rare
We haven't
mood
even got to the
tonight.
pancakes yet.
We haven't even gotten to the pancakes yet. Anyway,
Oh god.
Seta slides a key to you, Macklin, to what you would assume is a room, and then points to the stairs.
he nods towards Seta and
Right, would he be sleeping at this hour? Should we travel lightly, or...?
No, he's waiting for you. He saw your approach from a mile away, and I did warn him that you were coming, so.
Checks out.
all right. So then with that, I'll nod in thanks towards Seta and make my way toward the stairs, presumably leading the party with me. Hopefully.
I assume this is the seeker we're going upstairs to find.
Yes.
Awesome. Yes. No, we are hot on your
You
heels.
missed absolutely nothing.
There was probably more talk of pancakes.
Okay, you head upstairs. You find the room that the key goes to. You see the usual anti-scrying sort of marks on the door and around it. Door is closed.
How difficult is it to scratch these symbols in? I mean, if we know what the symbols are, they could be very useful on the fly.
What symbols are you talking about?
And I I actually knock on the door by doing that motion where I'm like wrapping my knuckle next to a symbol to point it out. Kill two birds with one stone. Symbols, arcane symbols. They're very similar to what I've seen on other anti-scrying rituals.
I got you. Anti-scrying. How easy it is, it depends on the caster.
He looks mostly interested.
Okay.
Can I move my arm? Like, is there enough space for me to slip my arm through and knock on the door?
Yes. So you and Cure knock on the door
Oh,
functionally.
okay. Yes.
I see Tab going to knock on the door, and I just sighed.
So the door swings open, and you're met with a bald man, tattooed face, scars on one side, halfling, standing at wearing mostly leather armor, a green cloak. He looks at all of you, holds the door open, and motions you in.
Is it seek or assume?
I slip inside.
Or is it a different scarred, tattooed halfling?
Roll a history check.
Do we have to roll a history check?
No, you know it's
Okay. I couldn't remember. He would have had those scars already when we
Yeah.
left, right? Yeah. Okay.
Would I have known him from my time with the Tal'Doreis?
You didn't see Seeker Assume that often. You met him every once in a while, but it was mostly in passing as Ilya was coming to and from lessons.
He must have had hair back then.
Yeah. He seems to match maybe what you remember Ilya telling you. You know,
Halfling, old, alright.
He was kind of a snot-nosed brat back then. You didn't pay a lot of attention.
We're gonna go ahead and move into the room, and once we are past him in the room, we'll basically immediately turn back to face him and start apologizing. We're sorry. We're very sorry. We didn't mean to. We're stuck in a box, and when we got out, it was already too late, and we're very sorry. We didn't mean to. We tried. We got lost.
Holds up a hand
I
to you.
shut the door at that point.
We aren't dead, though. We don't think.
I am glad that you're not dead, and I am glad that you are no longer missing. I understand that going missing during a mission happens.
Not to us. Until it did.
Happened to me before. I can't imagine you would be any different.
But we did try. We didn't just not.
I wouldn't assume that you gave up.
We nod and rather abruptly run out of words for the moment and sort of take a step or two back and just kind of stare and consider many things from there.
He motions to the table, which he takes a seat at the head of.
Glance toward Tab and nod a little bit.
You notice that, sorry, you notice that he's moving still very stiffly.
Well, that wasn't so bad.
And I'll take a seat at the table. Well, just to... jeez. I guess a medicine check to try to see, like, just how messed up he is. It's not my wheelhouse, but...
Sure.
It's a 12.
You know, you've gotten fucked up before, and sometimes it's just a hit in the right spot, and it takes a little longer than usual to recover. Also, he's not young. I mean, he's not, like, aged, but I mean, firmly middle-aged.
All right. Seeing that, I give Assume a respectful nod and open up a little bit.
As we understand it, you've recently begun recovering from a close call. How are you doing?
I'll survive. It's not my first brush with such things.
He nods.
The Sovereign was sure to tell us that you were formally taking bed rest, taking some time off. We've recently come to realize that the war effort could use an additional mind, planning, scheming, plotting, someone who knows a bit about, if not the Shadowfell, then how to run an insurgency. Before we begin discussing what we need, is that something that you would be able to aid us in? Would that be something you are willing to aid us in?
I certainly could. I know how to do such things. Wouldn't be my first insurgency. What are you asking me to do before I agree to do it?
Folding his hands, he nods and looks in Assume's direction.
Within the Shadowfell, there are the race of Shadakai, the locals, the civilians, those who would normally be serving the Raven Queen. As of Vecna's play for power, they now serve him. Not everyone is happy about this. His queen had made alliances with those who would rise against him, quietly at first, egging them on, strategically placing them in areas to work against him. She is no longer in the Shadowfell. She's topside with us. She knows of people, knows of places. Perhaps key people in key places. We, and I glance toward my companions, are more the rough and tumble sort. Not so much the plotters and schemers. Well, some of us, anyway. We don't want to screw up the opportunity. We were hoping that if we introduced you to Vecna's former queen, you two could collaborate, make some plans, and we could perhaps execute those plans.
Essentially, we plan on going after the head of the snake, and we need assistance with a distraction to allow us to get that meeting. And we need someone who is smart enough and who can be inconspicuous, I guess you could say.
Well, I can certainly do that. Assuming the good sovereign has taken me off of bed rest.
I think those arrangements can be made.
Can I try to read? Am I detecting some resentment in this assignment to rest, or is
Roll an insight
that
check.
matter of fact?
Roll an
22.
22. It's more amusement.
With us or with the sovereign, or
Oh, with the sovereign. It's more
Delightful.
like it's like when you're babysitting a small child and they tell you time to go to bed now,
delightful.
and you're like, yeah, I'll take a nap, but I mean, sure, kid. He definitely like recognizes her being an empress, but at the same time, like he's known her since she was in diapers.
We laugh a little and try to turn it into a cough. It's probably not a very good effort.
Roll deception? Performance? I don't know. Pick one and roll it.
I'm gonna roll performance because I want it to not be good. 6.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Jocelyn looks over. Are you okay, Tab? Do you need assistance? Would you like a greater restoration for that cough?
Not this time, but we'll let you know. Thank you very much. That's very helpful.
Jocelyn goes back to looking at the Seeker. But not looking at the Seeker, looking at Macklin, but thinks he's looking at the Seeker. So, anyways, as I said, I believe those arrangements can be made to take you off of.
A little to your left, Jason.
Jocelyn looks a little to his left to make those arrangements to take you off bed rest and allow you. He kind of snorts with a chuckle to perform your duties that you need to perform.
I do have one more thing that needs to be cleared up in Oncarel, but I think I can see to this. Especially if you can take care of my little Oncarel chore for me.
Then we could get coffee, or is it getting coffee? We could do both.
It's not getting coffee, but you certainly could do both.
What is it?
I need a package delivered.
Is it one of those situations where don't look in the package or I'm going to have to kill you type packages?
He just looks at you flatly, and you can't see it, but the others can. Why would you need to look in the package?
I personally, I couldn't look in the package even if I wanted to, you see. But I just want to make sure that it's not, the dirty of the dirty work.
You can give it to us. We will make sure no one looks at it.
You can give it to Tab, and Tab will not look at it, I promise you.
Oh, I know Tab. And he will take a small package out of his inside pocket and slide it over to you, Tab.
We take it. And is it fragile?
Not particularly.
Then we put it in our bag, but we don't wrap it 17 times first. We just find it a secure place in the bottom of our bag that it will just fall out or anything by accident. Where is it going?
It's going to a tavern called the Debt's Respite. The owner there is a tree bone breaker. He's a friend.
Could you put that name in the...
Yeah.
Are you going to need transportation, or do you think you can figure out the transportation for yourself so we can go take care of your problem, dilemma, whatever you want to call it?
Errand?
Yes, errand.
I can ask the Tabaxi for a quick teleport. I don't think she'll mind.
We glance at the Seeker and glance over at Corin and look back at the Seeker. This is Corin. We don't believe that you met him, but you might remember him from the garden.
He blinks for a moment and looks him over and nods. I do. And since then, you're good, strong, don't ask too many questions sort.
Did he say that referring to Tab?
No,
Corin. About
Okay.
Corin.
Okay. I was about to be flabbergasted for a second because I was looking at something else.
I think Kier should be flabbergasted and just perpetuate that misunderstanding.
I'd own that misunderstanding.
I mean, Kior can actually see like who he's addressing.
I mean,
So
we're kidding, obviously. Yeah.
That's fair.
under other circumstances, maybe.
We're already at a high level of silly tonight.
Oh.
Any semblance of seriousness is very fingers.
Challenge accepted.
All right, we were going to say if something happens to us, he's very helpful. He's very good at what he does. Also making plans, so you can make sure he's all right. We know you're right here. To Corin, we know you're listening.
Corin nods to you.
We're saying this anyway.
He nods again. And he gives you a little bit of a smile.
We give a little bit of a smile back. Stop babbling.
So it's settled then? We take care of your errand, you'll take care of our errand?
Assume nods.
Jocelyn just sits there and waits for an answer.
Assume. Sighs heavily. Yes, that is what we have agreed to.
Very good. Jocelyn just kind of waits for his party to respond, as Jocelyn knows of Assume, but does not really know Assume.
Well, that is excellent news. Then it is settled. Let's just see. This package. When is Shreve expecting it? Shall we head out right away, or?
I think you should probably leave in the morning.
How far is it, Donkerell?
About a day's travel. By Lizard.
He
And
is
he
kind
does
of like
The
eyeing
land.
the door.
Makes a face at Lizard.
You don't like them? They have so many legs.
They have certainly a lot of legs.
That's not always a good thing.
Could Edgar have more legs?
I've seen things with many legs that were not very pleasant.
Legs, or perhaps tentacles. I'm not sure where the one ends and one begins. Macklin goes, he stands, and he dusts off and turns his attention toward the Seeker. Well, Seeker Assume, thank you very much. I don't think it would be wise of us to linger for much longer. Tab, unless you have further business, we could leave you to him.
We look a little disappointed. No, that was all.
If you want, Tab, why don't you stay and fill me in on what happened?
We slide off the back of the chair into the sitting in the chair that we were previously perched on the back of. We can do that.
And I'll leave the rest of you to it.
Right then, Tab, when you're finished here, well, we'll be in touch, and I'll tap the wrist communicator to just to indicate. Otherwise, come evening, we'll probably be at the Revenge. And then he points upward.
How do you get up there?
There is a long, long rope ladder.
Is Macklin fucking with us?
Roll an insight check.
29.
No, he's not fucking with you.
Really? We believe you. It just seems unlikely.
Macklin just smiles. Smiles and chuckles and nods toward Tab.
Well, if we don't see you before then, we'll see you there.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And he will make his way toward the door, not wanting to monopolize any more of Assume's precious time.
And actually, well, we'll see. We'll actually call after him. You could stay if you wanted. You don't have to, but you could if you wanted to talk more. We don't mind.
Oh. Oh.
It's a trick, Macklin. Don't fall for it.
It really does feel like a trick. It really does.
Tab, it's been quite some time since you've worked and spoken with your former mentor. I think I'll have plenty of opportunities to learn from the pros when you're finished. Catch up. Relax. Enjoy yourself.
And so you're Macklin.
I nod toward Assume's direction.
He nods, but in a way that, like, he already knew the answer before asking it. And he stands and gives you a handshake.
And Macklin shakes back. His handshake, not firm at first.
I hear you've been doing a great deal for the family.
He nods, brows furrowing before arching, somewhat apologetically.
Yes, well, once they started calling me Seeker, I felt the impetus to try to live up to certain expectations. I hope I haven't sullied the term too much.
I don't think you have at all.
He smiles a bit and breaks the handshake and folds his hands behind his back.
Anyway, things to do.
Things to do. See you in Whitestone.
Whitestone. And he moves back to the chair to sit.
And he'll nod one more time and move his hands back to his front, kind of concealing himself in his cloak, feeling a little more sneaky and a little more feeling the role. Maybe Senpai noticed him. Maybe Batman told Robin that he was, maybe he deserves the cape.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll just make my way out.
House away from the door and approach the Seeker now that he's seated and hold out a hand to him to shake. Thank you for all the services you've provided for my family.
He nods and shakes your hand. Of course.
I give a little bow over the hand and release it and step back.
Okay.
Very simple, earnest thanks. And then I will withdraw from the room.
Okay.
We're going to need to make arrangements to stay the night here, aren't we?
Unless
said that
we
after
want
you-
to travel at night?
Yeah, once we stepped out.
Well, there may be a room upon the roof. I would have to ask Bustan and Avia if they're willing to board us, if they have room for us. There's also inns and taverns, and this bar, I presume, has space. It would be extremely odd sharing the same roof as Assume after its interaction, however. I mean, we're all like, oh, see you in Whitestone, and we would see him before going to Whitestone. It'd be very strange. For me, my pride would be bruised.
So we're
Somewhat.
staying here tonight then?
Oh, Cure, if only you had real wings that I could pluck feather by feather off.
I'm sure Josen will stand in for me.
Why would I want to pluck his feathers? He's been nothing but kind to me.
I name him my champion.
Balls.
I hate to tell you, I am not your champion, Gyor.
Shush, you have no say in the matter.
No, I believe I do. No, continue, Macklin. I want to hear what you have to say.
I believe we have an afternoon to burn. This isn't exactly Marquette.
Also,
Yes,
why
this-
is it with all you sneaky types always requesting packages be delivered without any questions regarding what's in them?
Oh, it's a trust exercise. You never need the thing to actually be delivered. It's just to either A, fuck with the person you're talking to, or B, discern whether or not they're trustworthy. Or C, it actually has to be delivered. Also, some looked extremely stiff. I imagine getting out to the big city on lizard back would be painful, arduous, and otherwise difficult.
Oh, I have no qualms about performing the task. I was just wondering why the fuss over keeping it quiet. Given our activities over the past year, 2 years, time is meaningless after all the travels we've done. I'm just curious. That's all.
Macklin shrugs. Well, perhaps you look inside the package and you'll gain some insight as to what it's for.
Yeah, I'm not that curious.
Hmm.
Our word was already given. I will respect it.
Ah, so you're a trustworthy lackey. Good to know.
I am not lackey. I am muscle.
Oh, so you're an enforcer.
That wasn't obvious.
Well, an enforcer's a type of lackey. Just bigger and brawnier. And they smell nice. Anyway,
They what?
Hands behind his back, Macklin is going to lead them downstairs, hopefully, to the bar.
I can't tell if he was complimenting me or complimenting enforcers. Or complimenting lackeys.
Yes.
Precisely.
That's not helpful.
It's Backlin. When in doubt, assume all of the above. Or none of them.
so step one in our tour of the Oasis is Setter's Bar. They serve a number of different drinks, as it is a bar.
I'd be worried about what they were doing if they did not serve drinks.
Unfortunately, this is the only site I know of in the Oasis. Everywhere else is a mystery to me.
That was a
Nice.
really quick tour.
It's a very
You
short
know,
tour.
One other place. There's a temple to the Raven Queen.
There's also a temple of the Raven Queen. Actually, just remembering now.
Wow, they are very excited tonight.
Yeah, they are. Sorry about that.
I like how we just all are like, I don't know whose dog it is. It's one of us.
I was muted, so I figured they were yours. Well, because I can see mine. So I guess
Def-
maybe that wasn't helpful information. for
definitely
anyone else who
mom.
hadn't noticed that I was muted. They have different voices too. Yours don't sound like mine.
One day, all the dogs are just going to go off at once.
One day all the dogs are gonna play D&D without us.
Can you imagine? Lilo is a paladin and Titus is a bard. I don't know about your two. Or John's.
A
Or about
barbarian.
Oliver. Or about there's lots of I don't know the flipping these names. There's lots of dogs.
One
So
of
Back.
them.
Oliver would be the
One-shot.
chosen of the group.
Bax is definitely a rogue. I think Percy might be a cleric.
Ellie would definitely be a wizard.
Lexi is most likely a mage of some sort.
Be a good party.
Rio is somewhere between a wizard and
Who's DMing?
Oh, Arthur.
Arthur.
he is probably the cleric,
Boulders fall, everyone dies.
and Obi is probably going to be a paladin or possibly a druid.
The problem is Maverick. What's a barbarian that can't rage? Oh,
A fighter.
A furball.
Fighter.
Furbog fighter.
yeah. Well, I mean, Sunbeam did hang out with a furball for a long time, so
Yeah, Percy is a cleric. His god is Ball. God of balls.
Ball.
Oh dear.
Ball is actually the saint of hand.
well, if we're going with that, then Maverick would definitely be a paladin of Fizbees.
Ooh.
Oh,
Lesser known
God.
sect of
It's a
Frisbee.
great disc in the sky.
There's a whole
The Great Sky Disc.
pantheon of dog toys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, we've gone far afield. There's a Temple of the Raven Queen in the Oasis.
Good for it. Now about this campaign.
The
Okay.
problem is we're gonna have enough
How
dogs for two
parched do my
parties.
allies look? I don't think I sold them on the bar.
Medicine check?
Oh god, been great at those today. Legit. Oh no, that's not where my desk goes. Shit.
Johnson's already sitting at the bar drinking tea.
16.
Just
16? Johnson is drinking, so probably he's thirsty. I'll let everyone else decide if they're thirsty or not.
I'm drinking from my refrigerated flask and just kind of hanging out with the party.
He would like a drink. He would like
Yeah,
lots of
Malcolm's gonna see
drinks.
if they have any tropical drinks, fruit juices.
Mhm.
I imagine those are more expensive than the actual ales.
As you ask, Seta does nod to you and say, "Yes, we have a few things. I think I know one you will like." And sets a small, like not small, but like probably like an 8-ounce cup in front of you of a strange yellow liquid.
I'll give it a quick sniff to see if it's actually alcoholic.
It's not alcoholic. She knows
cool.
that you don't
Okay.
usually partake.
All right, cool. My reputation precedes me. Yeah.
She remembers
I'll-
from the block party.
Oh my god, yes. All right, yeah. I'll nurse on that.
It
All
is
people hang
pineapple
out.
juice. However you feel like Macklin would feel about that.
Oh, it's what is this? What is this? I don't think I've had this.
It's a pineapple juice. They brought it in.
My God, it tingles. Oh, I think I like this.
smells pungent.
A bit. Almost burns a little bit in the back of the throat. But I like it. I think. Yes.
Is it like a orange juice or?
Almost. It's well, you try.
And I will shift it over to him.
Jocelyn will take a sip from it.
Okay.
It's same type, a little bit sweeter.
It's like lemon if lemon was good.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Almost like a lemon without the like puckering taste.
Hmm.
This is literally a Jaws and Macklin moment. You should try this tea, Macklin. It's phenomenal.
Oh,
tea, actually.
Well, I'll take some tea.
Sure, you try a sip. It's good tea, like a good quality black tea, but also it has like a little spice to the end of it, and you know this tea. You've had it before. Once in a dream.
What's in it?
Once upon a dream.
I'm trying to think of which dream.
It would have been in the Black Spiral.
That. Oh.
Huh. Jocelyn, is this local?
I don't. Seta, is this local?
It is. It's my own blend.
That checks out.
Some fresh memories kind of just filtering in. That's good tea. I'll slide it back over to Jocelyn.
He'll continue to sip his tea.
As everyone else drinks from their flasks.
Also like a drink?
Okay. What can I get for you?
He's like looking at Jocelyn and Macklin and interesting looking drinks that they have been given. I have no idea. Surprise me.
That's dangerous. Where's my friend? And she pulls down, she goes to the top shelf on the bar, pulls down a large bottle that's wrapped with like a twine like basket. Yeah, it is sandcake. And pours you a shot glass of it.
Up. And smells it.
Hands it. It is alcoholic.
Takes the shot.
Your tongue goes numb. It tastes like anise, and it has a sweet aftertaste to it, and then you can't taste anything because your tongue is completely numb. Make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm really bad at those.
Oh boy.
They got
I
the
think all
sand
the rogues
keg.
are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Not all the roads.
We go
Also,
here.
apparently D&D Beyond won't load, so that's cool.
That is cool.
All right. Plan 3. Roll a die and then look up your modifier. Good. On. Yeah, that's a plus. That's 11. Total?
Okay. It's fine.
He is like studying the empty shot glass. That's kind of amazing.
Dangerous stuff. I know a lot of the draws around here like it. Can I get you something else, or?
Probably something without alcohol. Unfortunately. I'm disappointed. You know. Responsible.
I mean, I assume you're not leaving tonight, are you?
No, I think we
Is it-
plan to get a room. Well, not me and V. Not that I'm saying there's a problem with that, but I'm just saying. I think we all planned on
I'm
getting a
fairly
room.
certain she understands, Jason.
Would it be better to travel at night with how
No.
insanely warm it gets during the day?
No, V. We probably not wise to do.
What difference does it make to you?
Well, I do know that certain creatures in the middle of the desert tend to come out at nighttime. Predators mostly.
Yes, he's not wrong.
Have you ever
Like
faced?
At least during the day, we'll only need to deal with the ones come back out during the daytime.
Correct. most of us can see clearer. And I will just say, the night monster. Have you ever dealt with a giant scorpion before?
I imagine they're a lot like regular scorpions, but giant.
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Soul that we faced. There's some kind of giant poisonous insect nearly took Cure down.
Did we fight that in the desert?
Within the desert was in the Black Soul.
The Black Spiral. Oh, there were all sorts of fun creatures in the Black Spiral.
I remember there was 2 of them, but I can't remember if they were like a purple worm-esque thing or if it was
They
a giant
were-
insect.
Giant centipedes.
Giant centipede.
Yeah.
Centipedes.
Going back to the conversation about
Senses are more, well, at least our senses are typically more adapt to the daylight.
I think I can find some things that will help you, V.
He looks hopefully at the bartender.
a
Let's
parasol.
I mean, that would also be useful, but let me go down to my workshop. And she heads downstairs.
I sincerely hope she brings a parasol.
Oh. Cure.
I'm not quite
Yes.
sure V knows what a parasol is.
And you too, Johnson. You remember the last time we were here? Was there not a creature or creatures down below that Setter was trying to help, but they were either mad or sick? There was some kind of affliction upon them.
Yes.
Do you think it's beyond your power to aid her now? We've grown quite strong since the last time we were here. Well, and you two have grown quite strong. I've just gotten slipperier.
What would you like me to do to aid her?
I'm a little foggy on the details, but can your magic, shot in the dark, can your magic restore a person from madness?
That's a very good question.
That is a good question. And you had to wait until I had a mouthful of Sour Patch Kids to ask him.
It's good pineapple drink, isn't it?
It's fantastic. Woo. Let me look at my stuff. Well, I depends on the situation, I guess. I'd have to really see what's wrong with them.
Franklin nods a little bit.
I do have certain spells that can do certain things, but they can cause certain adverse effects too.
Should we be aware of that?
Well, I mean, I don't intend to use it to the extreme. It's not like I'm going to ask for Vecna to disappear, Becklin. Though I wish I could.
You can just ask for a thing to happen. Hades grants wishes. Hades is not a genius.
Well, I've learned certain magics that could aid in certain types of wishes, yes. Why? Do you have a wish, Macklin? Is there a wish that you wish for me to grant to you?
I look at Johnson scrutinizingly, trying to see if he's leading me on to fuck with me or if he's being earnest. Can I insight check Johnson?
Sure, insight check Johnson.
Use my good die for this. It's a 28.
Kind of mischievous. but is being genuine.
Macklin nods slowly and rubs his chin. I'll think about that. I haven't considered. I haven't thought about that as a possibility.
But may I offer you some advice, Macklin?
Hmm.
De- Depending on the wording of which you are seeking, and depending on what you're trying to change or what you want, keep in mind that that can always have an adverse effect on everything in the world.
Oh, I see. If you wish for something to the letter of the word, it might backfire. You might get exactly what you wish for, but not necessarily what you want.
Also, lots of unintended consequences.
Also, lots of unintended consequences.
Cosmic deals are bullshit.
I think we've learned that, yes. Cosmic deals are indeed bullshit.
I raise my flask salute.
I lift my pineapple juice.
Jocelyn continues to sip his tea.
That's the tea, folks.
That's right, I've turned into a fucking Hades genie.
Speaking of Arthur, no, it's my turn to DM, not you.
Yeah, this is not the dog campaign yet.
Dungeons and Doggos.
He's studying.
Frisbee and balls.
It's really wanting to look at this 9th level spell list. That's not that's not worrying.
There is an
we're
RPG
not-
rule set for playing as animal adventurers.
Yes, there is. There's a Dachshund Sorcerer, if I'm not mistaken. At least from the set of minis I've seen.
Yep.
Y'all didn't think I was gonna get a wish spell and not, tempt you with a wish spell, right?
I mean,
So, Tab, how do you want to do this?
wait, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tab jumps on the table and plunges their sword downward into the heart of Seeker Assume.
Turn that halfling inside out.
Oh god, Tab was asleep the entire time.
Oh god, it's quite a Tuesday, isn't it? I did not consider my wording.
Long live the king.
You know you were going for the
Jocelyn's
joke. We just
downstairs
jumped
leading
on
a
it.
chorus of poor
No,
unfortunate
I
souls.
didn't. I literally was like, okay, we would need
That's
to.
why it's so good.
Because the next words were, do you want to do it side play? Do you want to do it truncated? Do you want to do it live on screen? How do you want to tell your tale to?
I think.
Do you want to do a playthrough
In front of a live
chat?
studio audience.
Surprise! See, now it's not gonna be a surprise. I might find it another time. Oh.
We were all
Just
so
because
worried.
I rolled the in secret, Heather, doesn't mean.
We were all so focused on V's heel turn that didn't bother to look at Tab.
Trust the double agent.
Oh my
Fucking
God, you
undead, I
shot-
swear to God.
You shocked Cure into leaving.
Oh no! She's out the door and off to. Well, she doesn't know. Off to his. So I think I think it depends on whether there is anything that he's going to want to like discuss or ask or say that isn't the story isn't like let's just talk about the story of how talk about where Tab's like if there's anything that he's going to want to get to that is not sort of catching up on what happened to Tab and what he's been up to, then I would want to put that on screen. But if it's a purely catch up, if it, I mean, who knows? We won't know until we do it, right? But if it is likely to be a purely catch up conversation, I would love to do that as a doc play.
Sure.
But if he has like an additional secret mission to the mission that he's already given us, then that might want to be on screen.
We'll do it after play. You and
Okay, sounds delightful. Thank you.
You do not. I'll send you a DM.
About where I hide his body. Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Just make sure you include me when Tab comes over to me and is like, I need to get the fuck out of here right now.
We'll tag you all.
We need to go. We need to
Excellent.
go. Joseph, we need to go. Now, Joseph. Now.
What, Mikey?
Now, Joseph. Cast the spell.
I mean, Seeker is probably the highest level character in there. I mean, other than Senta. Yeah, that's fair.
You like how I put
Okay, message
Macklin
received.
on the moral compass here? It's like Macklin's the one I choose to entice with a wish spell.
Tab's already.
That's because you know.
I mean, we're gonna run
That's
out.
because you know
we don't
Cure sure as hell won't take that up again.
Yeah, Tab has one, and Cure's learned better.
But we have reasons.
Yep.
So Jocelyn's is probably even more renewable than ours. And also, he doesn't answer to anybody except Hades for it. We assume. We don't know.
There might be a contract involved.
I hope there is.
Hades does not assume any responsibility for the adverse effects of this spell. You may not sue us. This may cause death and permanent distortion in the known realms as you know it. I need to start writing these contracts.
Apparently.
Oh, that'll come. Don't worry. I'm just waiting for Macklin to make the deal. I could have offered it to V and saw what V did too. That might come still. I could just picture V going, I wish I'd never met you people.
Can V embed his head in the storm cloud if he wants to not have to listen or see anything that's happening? Like,
Nope.
can he go? No. Oh, it just rises up above.
Yes.
That's adorable.
So any attempts to embed your head in the storm cloud is like trying to push two magnets together. The opposite magnets. Not opposite, matching magnets, like north-north.
I just assume it maintained a set distance away from him, like Tensor's floating disk.
Yeah, that's how I also pictured Tensor's floating disk when on Friday was that
V
it's like
jumps, it
magnetics.
bobs up and down.
It's almost like a little
I
halo.
could reach it, so I can, poke it. I just can't pull it down and hide my head in it. Does not want to be cuddled.
Kind of
Close.
like,
I
like
that
V.
too.
You two are a perfect match. You and that cloud.
And my cat. Not really a dog.
Yep. Alrighty. So, what are you guys doing? Tab does not immediately come back down.
I like to imagine that with every scene shift, there's like a brief cut to outside the tent where Edgar's just like sitting down watching a tumbleweed go by, or like poking his beak at an insect or something. Just
Probably, like, definitely trying to find that bug, that beetle that ran around. Definitely looking for shiny rocks. Might have a small pile of shiny rocks.
like every scene, it's different. Every scene, his pile of shiny things just grows and grows and grows, and it's all random crap.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is he like literally out there in the sand finding earrings and random other things that got lost?
Edgar is a little
He has-
metal detector, yeah.
If Edgar had like personality trait, like his bond is I must collect all the shinies.
Is that a
You
bond or a
get
flaw?
cursed for that? Like,
Why doesn't Edgar
Yeah.
have personality traits? Bosun has personality traits. Don't you love Edgar as much as I love Bosun?
Bosun?
Oh,
I
Bosun is
choose-
the Eldritch Puffin.
I choose not to define Edgar that way.
Oh. Oh, snap.
Is the puffin the pact patron or the familiar?
Familiar. Answer hazy, try back later. But anyway, that's a different game, sorry.
a magic 8-ball?
The patron is a magic 8-ball. Oh no!
That's amazing.
Oh,
The single stupidest warlock character.
Chaotic
Yes!
neutral.
I mean, that's basically a cleric casting augury or divination. So
That's gonna be one of the dog warriors. They
I
an
think I
ancient
have a
arcane
gimmick.
relic.
yeah, that's the gimmick for a warlock character. It's a great old one who channels its power through a magic 8-ball.
Oh, man.
They've mistaken the magic 8-ball for a patron.
So, before I start giving away the secrets of next campaign,
yes.
Oh boy.
yeah. So, what all are you doing while Tab is having their meeting?
Oh,
I'm
Tara's
obviously
taking
waiting for
forever.
Stetta to come back because I was told to.
I'm interested to see what Kyora's doing. Kiora, what are you
She's
doing?
just sitting at the bar with everyone, drinking from her flask and occasionally getting a refill of some water. Probably ordered some juice by now.
Okay.
Curious what kind of non-alcoholic drinks they have out here.
Tetta returns. For you, V, she has a pair of glasses similar to hers, with dark lenses.
Oh, that's interesting.
And she also has a fairly large bowl of fruit, as well as some, like fondue forks, like the long forks.
Yes.
How missable are these as weapons?
Fairly weapony, yeah.
Better than a butter knife?
Better than a butter knife.
Tempting.
I imagine they are like the rapier to the butter knife's long sword.
So, yeah, and a bowl of cut fruit. And she puts in front of you a small glass of pineapple juice. Sure.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the general atmosphere around her right now is that she's kind of following along on someone else's mission, essentially.
Mhm.
She's regained her good humor. She's happy to be here, but excuse me, definitely has a vibe of I'm here to keep everyone else out of trouble.
Basically, Cure is just the muscle on this mission.
I'm the muscle. I'm not a lackey. I'm a muscle. The chaperone, yes.
Calf,
Yeah, there it is.
thigh, or glute? Bicep also
Yes.
is applicable. Ooh. Not going to waste no time at getting into this fruit situation. Last time they came here, they found wild fruits, and it was a good time. So he's down for this.
Cautiously trying.
It's a good set of fruits. It's not too melon heavy. It's like a very nice fruit salad. But it does have like some good like chunks of watermelon and pineapple. There's a few strawberries in there. Standard fruit salad stuff.
They also have put. V is also asking Seta how much he should be paying for these glasses, because
She waves it off. Most of the draw here wear them. Even I wear them. She points to her own face.
he nods and puts the glasses like on top of his head to be brought down when he steps out back into the sunlight.
You do notice that Seta does not take hers off, though. She wears them all of the time.
How crowded is the bar?
It's pretty empty, though. A couple of people come in. Seta has pulled out some more of those fruit bowls and set them at there's a small party of caravanners. And Arthur, make up your mind. Are you gonna sit or are you gonna go? Okay, bye. Love you.
Should I stay or should I go now?
So, go ahead.
There's a small part. There's probably like 4 or 5. Probably like a family. There, imagine like a family, but all the kids are adults, sort of situation.
Aww.
Hanging out at one of the tables. They are drinking coffee and also eating from a communal fruit bowl that's been left. Jabbering to each other in, I mean, it would be undercommon, so he understands.
Jocelyn will look at Seta and be like, so Macklin reminds me that last time we were here, you had some people who were having some mental issues, I guess you could say.
Yes, my patients. Most of them have been seen to, thankfully. I don't have many at the moment. With the temple being cleansed, it gives me access to more abilities.
I had no doubt you had it all under control.
Of course. Only Macklin doubted me, and she looks to you, Macklin. She's obviously joking, but...
He shrugs and smiles a little bit.
What can I say? I'm just not a faithful person.
That seems like you.
Just kind of squints and smiles.
I don't know, Macklin, from what she just explained. Hades provides a lot of powers and a lot of abilities.
Just you're not trying to turn me into a supplicant, are you?
Well, I mean...
I'll have you know my worship comes at a very hefty price.
And Hades doesn't even offer pamphlets.
No, but he offers contracts.
I thought you were trying to convert him, not chase him away.
Have you ever read one of these contracts, Cure? Maybe you would like to, come to the dark side.
Are you seriously trying to tempt me with a cosmic deal?
Obviously not.
I'll spear a piece of fruit and munch on it instead of deigning it with a answer.
Gosh, this is a interesting mix for that kind of offer.
He is entirely ignoring this conversation of religion. Talking to Seta, getting a couple more drinks, dropping on the Drow family's conversation.
Sure. So you said you're talking to Seta. Anything particular?
I think you might want to try one of these very interesting looking things.
Fruit?
Everyone else has one.
Oh, the fruit drink? Okay, yeah. She puts one in front of you.
If he's going to sip that, talk about what attacks you in the desert.
Okay. The conversation that the Drow family is having appears to be mostly about what prep work needs to be finished tonight, before they can leave in the morning. It's mostly like running down chores, what needs to be repaired in the caravan, things like that. Oh.
How likely are bandits of any sort?
Bandits? Are you asking Seta or the family?
I am asking Seta at the moment.
Okay, Seta kind of shrugs, tilts her head back and forth. Yeah, it happens, but not common. A little bit more often closer to the city, but
He considers the contract conversation.
Seta looks to you, Cure. I have been keeping your temple in good shape, but I think some of the followers would appreciate a sermon given by an actual priestess of the Raven Queen, if that you're up to it.
I choke a little bit on a piece of fruit. A sermon.
A sermon's not much different from a marriage. We did that pretty fine.
Yeah, Cure, I think it would be a great idea. I think if they were to hear from someone with your prowess, they would be happy.
I think I might be able to come up with something a little more engaging than that.
Oh, do you mean like a potluck?
Yes, a potluck.
That sounds fantastic.
I believe we're a bit too pressed for time to make that realistically possible, though.
Maybe next time.
Do they hold regular services at the temple here?
Mostly they take they take turns doing a reading from your holy scriptures that is appropriate for the day, but not many of your sorts come through that often.
Then I think can perhaps do something come sundown. That seems an appropriate time of day.
I think that would be a good idea.
I incline my head. Is there anyone in particular who maintains the shrine?
That would be me.
Oh, well. Speaking to the right person, then.
She is not my goddess, but I have an appreciation.
They are within the same realm.
Indeed.
And mine does not even require a contract.
You don't really need a contract to worship Hades. It's just... it's more binding.
I snort a little bit and chuckle.
All of life is contracts.
Well, there was a particular spell I know that I've been looking to try out. Something paladins of a certain certain strength are able to do that I've recently been made aware of.
I will look forward to it.
Incline my head. I'm not sure if it will do anything, but it should be impressive nonetheless.
She nods to you and lets you go back to stabbing fruit. Maybe more spearing. It's spearing fruit.
Now imagining these long forks shaped like tridents would be.
I mean, have you guys seen fondue forks?
They're like bidents.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Plenty of fondue. Stabby stab. So, Macklin, are you gonna go watch Curious sermon?
Oh, I would miss it for the world.
It's not a sermon.
Well, what is it?
A surprise.
A surprise sermon.
Does it involve a lot of yelling and screaming?
Not unless I'm killing something, no.
Do you plan on killing something?
Do you plan on sacrificing something?
Does something
That's not
plan
in the
on
brochures.
attacking me?
I don't know. It depends on how rowdy you get, I guess.
I mean, if something's trying to kill me, then I feel it's only appropriate that I return in due course.
Well, if the sermon's bad enough, you kind of bring it upon yourself.
Oh, you're giving a sermon?
No, you're giving a sermon.
What should I get to prepare for you, John Macklin?
Well, I've been
Do you
known
need
to
any
rant and
supplies?
rave on occasion.
Do you have any supplies to offer, Macklin?
Perhaps a brochure.
I may have a brochure somewhere.
Are you gonna
I
hand
also have a
out?
griffin if you need special effects.
Are you gonna hand out brochures during your sermon?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Hmm.
The sermon, not the brochures.
A true sales lady, Cure.
Well, this is an awful lot of build-up, and I'm actually excited about something, thanks.
I am downright excited. I cannot wait for it.
So it's
Oh,
not a
now you're
sermon,
raising your standards entirely too high.
it's not a marriage, but it's supposed to be flashy and big.
Well, I don't know how it's actually going to be.
I think we need to get started on it right away.
No, we're waiting till sundown. Such things demand appropriate timing.
I am sure I can whip out some magical fireworks or something if you'd like.
I go to deny him, but pause fully.
Honestly, I could just blow things up if you'd prefer that too.
Yo, I would appreciate it if you didn't
He
blow up my
like
temple.
looks at
Thank
all
you
these
very
crazy
much.
people and pulls a book out of his bag and puts it on the counter in front of Cure.
What'd you put in front of Cure?
A book.
I blink and pick up the book, look at it.
It's literally the Raven Queen Book of Prayer.
Yep.
Where did you get this?
Possibly the Feywild. Trying to remember where you found that one.
What the hell is this book doing in the Feywild? This book, rather.
He
Never
shrugs.
mind, it's the Feywild.
It's the Feywild. They have everything.
V, have you read this book before?
I do not believe I had gotten around to reading this one yet.
Okay, just checking.
I also figure if I give it to Cure, it'll be fine. And if I start reading it, it might end up, trying to make me a Raven Queen or something.
All right.
Never knows with.
Dice flew across the room back and forth.
Cure, are you cracking open the book?
Yes, I'm going to crack open the book.
All right, hold on one moment.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Well, there.
Well, that makes my eyebrows lift. V, how attached are you to this book?
About as attached as I am to any book, but it is your religion.
I'm honestly not sure how to take that. Could I have this book?
Or are you going to trade me one for it?
I don't actually. I pause. How's your Zemnian?
Non-existent. Why?
No, I think I'd be murdered if I gave that one away. I don't actually collect all that many books. But I can promise you the next one I find that has not already been claimed.
He considers this fun.
It's a prayer book. I could always request this from the temple back in Whitestone. In fact, if you let me have this copy, I'll get you another copy just like it.
He shrugs. You can have the book.
Thank you, V. You're most gracious.
You're obviously rather more invested in it than I am.
Only marginally. I say as I just tap my mantle. Adding it to my inventory.
Yeah. And you notice that the book is earmarked in various places. This book was in good condition and is definitely still in good condition. But there's definitely like marks on certain pages, parts underlined, things like that.
Got it.
Okay.
Jozin's waiting for the cure sermon.
He can keep on waiting.
He'll keep on waiting, don't you worry.
After the meal at the bar, Cure is going to just investigate the Raven Queen temple.
Okay.
And she's going to give the book a closer look as she heads out over there.
Mhm. Sure.
Oh, god damn it.
Actually, it's not as bad as you think. You get advantage on insight checks against your own family, so you vaguely remember something about how Talia was when Talia was a page, her path to the becoming a paladin involved private tutoring instead of being in a class of paladins like you were. And Seraphine was her sponsor.
Makes sense.
Seems like at some point she had her book maybe misplaced.
I nod to myself and stow it for the moment. That way I can pay closer attention to the temple to the Raven Queen.
Okay. It's a small temple. Probably would fit 80 people comfortably. And it's just one stone room. Altar at the front, with a slightly raised area around it, which you would assume is where sermons are given. There's a lectern. It's all very clean, well maintained.
Simple enough. Since it's still going to be quite a while before sunset, do my inspection, however long it takes. Since it's a small shrine, I expect it probably wouldn't take more than a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll eventually return to Seta and just kind of give her instructions that since it's not that big a settlement, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, no.
All right. Since Seta would be familiar with the populace here, just if anyone's looking for like marriage rights or would like to devote themselves to the Raven Queen or any of those kind of religious obligations that people are looking for a priest to perform. Hell, if someone's worthy of atonement for a wrong they feel guilty about, that they can come by the temple at sunset.
I will let them know.
Thumbs up.
She lets out a sharp whistle, and a young boy comes in, probably 9 or 10. Drow. She says something to him in Undercommon. He nods and heads out.
I feel like every time I learn a new language, everyone starts speaking something else.
Well, it is the Oasis. Half of the town is Drow, so.
I kind of wave a hand dismissively. Oh, no worries. I'm just reflecting on my lot in life.
You learned a new language, then?
I did. I actually picked up Zemnian, I say in Zemnian.
She blinks at you, takes a moment, thinks, my Zemnian is very old and very rusty. Probably since before the Empire.
I privately feel gratified that I can now speak a language that someone else has to struggle to understand, and then do a double take when she says older than the Empire. I beg your pardon.
I haven't spoke Zemnian since probably the fall of the dynasty.
That was a. I kind of squint a little bit. Right.
She blinks at you.
I apologize. I know a great deal of people, and I keep forgetting just how certain people I know tend to get around. I have a very strange life.
I mean, I didn't spend time there. Not a lot, anyway. Have to pick up.
From what I hear, you aren't missing much.
I don't know. It's the Zemnians are pretty fun people before, you know, the Dwendalian Empire ruined all the fun.
I nod. So I've heard. A trip to the Empire is actually on our itinerary.
Really?
I'm just stopping in briefly to do some research.
I admit I spent more time in your house myself.
I am not familiar with your house, beyond the name at least.
Oh, it's a country of drow and all sorts of goblins and kobolds and all sorts of things that most quote unquote civilized people would hate. And for a very long time, the refugees of the Zemnian Empire and the former royal court of the dynasty, Rexentrum dynasty, were in exile there.
Interesting.
I will let anyone know if they are in need of religious services to come to the temple.
I nod gratefully and kind of thank her distractedly, just again, just reflecting on how many individuals I know that are not at all what they appear to be to others.
Mhm.
It gives me perspective on just how wild a life I actually have lived.
Fair. All right, Tab, this is about when you're finishing up your conversation with the Seeker. And you can tell, you don't need a medicine check to tell that his energy is starting to flag.
Okay. And I'm guessing Corin stayed for this conversation. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Okay. We should let you rest, but we're not telling you you have to because that's not our job. It's the Stopford's job, and you don't have to listen to her either. But you should rest.
He laughs at that. It's good to let them think that they are in charge, Tab. But we know better.
We nod. We definitely we do know better. It's not like they can stop us, so
They certainly can't.
all right. So we will let you rest, and then we will see you in Whitestone, or tomorrow, or in Whitestone. We take Corin. Do you want to go? Will you go back to Whitestone? Help with the planning? Or do you want to go to Ankarel?
Corin nods. I think I might be best served being handy for the Seeker.
We'll bring back coffee.
Good, I like coffee.
If he doesn't drink it all, which he might, but we'll hide some, and then he'll find it.
I trust you to be able to hide some.
All right. We're sort of looking back and forth between them, and then like sort of at the door, and back to them, and then at the door.
But I'll follow you out. We're not leaving. You're not leaving yet. And he stands to move with you.
And is it evening yet, or is it
Getting
airship time?
Probably hitting like 5 or 6 o'clock now.
Okay, we think it's airship time. Sorry, I'm inhaling my own spit. That's very nice. And narrating it too. That's delightful. You're all welcome. It's been a very long day. A good day, but a long day. There's a very tall ladder, a rope ladder. So we'll go climb that, and then we'll see you in the morning. We're back in Whitestone. And we sort of edge backwards towards the door, and look around. Is there a window?
Yeah, there's one window.
And we redirect. We change our trajectory from the door, and go to look out the window. Where does what is below? What does it look out on? Can we see the airship from here?
Sure. You can see where the airship is docked. There's not anything immediate in the vicinity. Let's out into a small alley.
We probably shouldn't go out here because then they'll know where you are if they see us, which they won't. We don't know who would be watching. We suppose anyone who lives here knows where you are. Anyway.
I've mostly been keeping quiet.
We sigh heavily and go out the door.
You head out the door. Head down the stairs.
Is the rest of the group, well, I guess minus Kior, who went to the temple, still in the bar? Or did I miss anyone else leaving?
Nope. I think everyone, that's who is still there.
Then we will stroll up to the group. We will stealth up to the group and attempt to just appear in their midst.
All right.
The stealth roll of like sneaking down the stairs and trying to like stay out of lines of sight and earshot, etc., etc., etc. 33.
Yeah.
Like if anyone is facing, I'm assuming that they're all like seeing the back of the bar, but I don't actually know if that's true. So like if anyone's actually looking towards the stairs, we are probably visible. But if we can stay out of line of sight.
Yeah, it's easy enough to sneak up on them. They're talking about books and sermons, and you think maybe Kior's giving a sermon? Something.
Is it time for the ladder? We say from just like behind and off to the side of Macklin. So like if he turns his head, we'll be visible, but we're within arm's reach. We're within our arm's reach and just outside of his arm's reach.
Of course.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
what?
To get punched.
Where did you come from?
Stairs? You're still here?
Oh, that makes sense. Well, yes, there's only so many things that we could see in our little tour.
What is the sermon? Why is there a sermon? What is the sermon about?
I look toward Cure. When and why is a sermon? Are these questions that gentry should ask?
There's certainly questions I can't ask, Count, if I don't know who's giving a sermon, as I was under the impression that no one was giving a sermon.
Right, it is some kind of
Macklin.
performance.
Performance isn't the loot.
It isn't, but thank you for remembering.
We pay
Is it
attention
a
except when we don't.
dance?
As do we all.
Kyor's being extremely cagey about something that she intends to do for the local worshippers of the Raven Queen. It's most certainly not a sermon, I've been told.
Is it a sacrifice?
No, she's not that kind of god.
Could she be?
No, she's not that kind of god.
What if it's a really good sacrifice?
She's a patron of natural demise, not forced demise.
No, a sacrifice of wealth, of gold, a piñata made of diamonds.
Wouldn't that defeat the purpose of being a pinata?
No,
It'd be very hard to break. Well, we suppose it would depend on how you attach the diamonds together.
I'm certain if you got a dwarf involved, they'd figure it out. They're very good at splitting stones.
What would you put inside of it?
More diamonds, if it's a dwarf.
That's disappointing.
Yes, they're very singular-minded when it comes to their wealth.
Although you would never expect, you don't expect a pinata to have inside it the same thing that's on the outside, so maybe it would be the most surprising of all.
Quite possibly.
Is the book still out? No, if you've come and gone, then the book is probably gone.
Yep. That's tucked away.
Are you not give? Are you? I'm sorry. I was trying to
No,
figure out trying to figure out how to phrase. I know what Tab wants to ask, and I'm trying to figure out how they would phrase it, based on what they know, which is not what I know, which is still almost nothing. Are you being cagey because you don't want to do the sermon, or are you being cagey for some other some other reason? Because there's something
I
that
am
you want to do, and
legitimately
you don't want to tell
not
us.
giving a sermon.
Are you
I'm
doing
simply
anything?
trying to try something.
What was that?
I'm simply aiming to try something. And I fear at this point everyone's got hopes up impossibly high.
We don't know what it is, so we can't have high hopes. We try not to do that anyway.
Excellent. Keep that bar nice and low.
We want to
You
ask
see-
you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You say that now, but you've surprised us in the past.
Usually because I try to keep that bar low. That way,
It's too
whenever
late.
I do something particularly spectacular, it is regarded as extremely spectacular.
Well, it's too late now. We're all very impressed by now. You could only let us down at this point.
Well, that wasn't remotely my fault.
I mean, performing a beautiful ceremony, playing a beautiful song, being multilingual.
Why is there a song involved now?
Well, not a song, the music.
Will there be a song? Could there be? Should there be a song?
There should be a song.
There
Or at
will
least some
not
little-
be a song.
Ever again?
I'm not a cleric, after all.
How about a hymn? Or a her?
A
I
hymn
don't know.
is one step removed from a sermon.
If you read one of the prayers out loud.
Oh, you could read a prayer out loud and then analyze it.
She's not a cleric.
Exactly, Tabget.
Why do you need to analyze it?
So the layman can understand the writing. Interpret it one way, interpret it a different way. I'm not entirely privy to the teachings of the Raven Queen, but I assume, like other religions, that it's some kind of myth or a story or a fable, and there's multiple layers to the story being told.
Indeed, it's all very allegorical.
Allegorical.
We look increasingly confused. Didn't it
Appropriate
happen?
response to discussions on religion.
Which part is the allegory?
It depends on the story being told.
We thought we were talking about the Raven Queen.
The Raven
the
Queen
Raven-
has stories.
Could the Raven Queen herself be an allegory?
Cure could ask her next time they talk.
All right, you can just talk to me. What am I saying?
Can you talk to an
On
allegory?
occasion.
Can you talk to her about us?
I think the allegory lies in actual talking with the gods themselves. Yes, I did.
Should we still not want to know, or should we want to know? We don't know if we do yet. We just want to know if we should.
That's entirely up to you. Though to be fair, I don't think she informed me of anything particularly worrisome.
We'll think about it. Thank you.
I inclined my head towards them.
We reach for the fruit, the basket of fruit. Is any of this good?
It's so good.
I recommend the pineapple.
Do we know what a pineapple is?
Roll a nature check.
I point at it with a fork.
With advantage.
14.
yeah, you've not had one before, but with yours pointing it out, sure, that one's a pineapple.
And are these? Is it a whole pineapple or are these cut?
No, they're chunks. It's
Okay.
chunked. It's like it's a fruit salad, more or less. It's like the fruit salad you get at the grocery store, even.
Then we will achieve a chunk of pineapple and pop it into
But-
our mouth.
Actually good and not like.
Yeah, it's what
Has
it's what you always hope a fruit salad will be,
Yes, exactly.
and it never is.
It's not the one that's been sitting in the cooler for. You don't want to know how long.
That is good.
Okay. As everyone noms on fruit and debates whether or not a sermon will happen, we're gonna call it for tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you very much
Went
for
so
games.
off the rails tonight.
That was very silly. Thank you for indulging.
My God.
It was
I
fun.
think by the pancake debate, I knew that it was just gonna be. Like, I was like, let's roll with it.
Definitely
I
got
feel like some
interesting.
things got done, and also,
Marquette is officially our version of Las Vegas.
I was just gonna say, I think Alina would be proud of us.
Yeah,
There-
probably.
There is a large casino in Ankarel.
There
Oh
it is.
no.
Not Ankarel, in Marquette. Marquette's the town. Ankarel's the tree, right?
No,
No.
opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, in Ankarel, there is I believe the meat man does business there.
Oh, that seems fine.
Oh no.
Oh
I mean, we've gotten we've learned the fates of most of Vox Machina.
no. So by process of elimination, we can figure out who's on the Tal'Dorei Council that doesn't really exist.
Yeah. Yeah, that's long gone.
Pretty sure we already know who's on the Tal'Dorei Council, such as it is.
I'm
I think
pretty,
it's just Ilya now. She is the council.
Jeez.
It's Ilian, whoever she talks to.
could be any person at any given moment.
Could be any of us.
Oh no.
It is
Oh,
any of
God,
us.
we are the Tal'Dorei Council.
Oh.
Well, we're the knights.
We're the Tal'Dorei Council we met along the way.
In these trying times, sometimes you have other duties as assigned. It's just
Duties,
She
duties.
She literally, Macklin. She's literally called you the Master of Secrets before.
Oh shit!
it's fine.
It
You're
happened without
screwed
me even
now.
noticing.
That's
No.
how they get you.
He trained under assume that seems right.
It just occurred to me. Does Do I know anything about Death's Respite or Retrieve Bonebreaker? I'm guessing not, but you never know.
Not really. You haven't done a lot of business in this part
Okay.
of the country.
Cool.
You know his name is metal as fuck.
It really is.
I mean, the rest of you have been to the Death's Respite before.
Oh yeah.
Has anyone
Yes.
else been?
Yeah.
That's fine. We don't know.
All right, everyone. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired.
Good
Bye.
night.
I hear ya. Have a good night.
Good night. And good night to you as well.